Welcome to one of the most brutally honest health conversations you will hear all year. Hosted by Konstantin Kisin and Francis Foster from the podcast Triggernometry, this episode features Mike Israetel, bodybuilder, exercise scientist, and one of the few people in the fitness world not afraid to speak uncomfortable truths. The thumbnail says it all. The shocking reason fat people stay fat. It is not because of Big Pharma. It is not because of seed oils. It is not even because of the food system. According to Mike, the reason is much simpler. People just do not care enough. Not always, not consistently, but often enough for it to matter. It is a claim that hits hard, but it is backed by decades of science and real-world coaching experience. In this episode summary, we break down 10 punchy takeaways that cut through the noise and deliver clarity, truth, and a few uncomfortable laughs along the way. Takeaway 1. Why most fat people stay fat. Mike Israetel opens the conversation with a direct hit. He says the main reason obese people stay obese is not the government, the food industry, or secret toxins in the water. It is that most people just do not care enough to change. They say they want to lose weight, but their actions do not match their words. If you offer them a burger or a salad, they pick the burger. If you tell them to walk for 20 minutes, they watch TV instead. This is not to shame them, he says, but to highlight how powerful human habits and emotional rewards are. Eating tasty food gives instant pleasure. Changing your body takes time and effort. It is easier to believe nice-sounding lies, like fat is beautiful or health at any size, than to face the grind of calorie control. Mike adds that even people in body positivity circles would take a magic pill to be lean if it existed. That tells you what they really want deep down. Which brings us to the bigger picture. Takeaway 2. Why modern life makes us fatter. For most of human history, people struggled to find enough food. Today, the opposite is true. Mike points out that food is now cheaper, tastier, and easier to get than ever before. You can sit on your couch, open an app, and have a warm, cheesy pizza at your door in 30 minutes. Even people with low income can now afford high-calorie meals regularly. He calls it a historical miracle, but also a metabolic trap. Our bodies are built to store extra food for survival. Now we have constant access to ultra-tasty food, and we never face real scarcity. That is why obesity is not just an American problem. It is exploding in countries like Mexico, where people are getting wealthier and now eat like Americans. But the problem goes deeper than access. Takeaway 3. Why healthy food can still make you fat. Many people believe that eating organic, vegan, or natural food will make them slim. Mike says this is a fantasy. The truth is that calories still matter more than anything else. He shares a story about giant vegan brownies that had over 1,000 calories each, but people thought they were healthy because they were made with good ingredients. The reality is that if a food tastes amazing, is easy to chew, and comes in a big portion, it is easy to overeat, even if it is technically healthy. A bowl of broccoli and salmon is hard to binge on. A tray of date-sweetened energy balls? Gone in minutes. That is how even the most well-intentioned diets can backfire. Let us zoom in on one of the most misunderstood enemies. Takeaway 4. The real reason sugar makes you fat. Sugar is often seen as the villain of modern nutrition, but Mike says the real problem is not the sugar itself. It is the calories that come with it. Drinking 3 cans of soda a day adds about 500 calories, which can lead to a pound of fat gained per week. He explains that sugar is dangerous, not because it is toxic, but because it makes food hyperpalatable. That means you keep eating it even when you are full. However, if someone cuts sugar and replaces it with something equally caloric, like honey or fruit juice, they will not lose weight. The secret is cutting calories, not just swapping ingredients. He also defends diet sodas, saying the science shows they are safe and effective for weight loss. This brings up an even more difficult topic. Takeaway 5. Body positivity hides uncomfortable truths. Mike respects the idea that all people deserve kindness and respect, but he says the body positivity movement often lies to people about beauty and health. He explains that telling someone they are just as attractive at 300 pounds as they would be at 180 pounds might feel nice, but it is not honest. He points out that even people promoting body positivity often do not believe it. If you compliment someone by saying they look like a plus-size celebrity, they get offended. That shows the gap between what people say and what they feel. Mike believes we should accept people as they are, but also be honest about what most people find physically attractive and what bodies function best. Which leads us to the silent damage happening inside. We're halfway through the video. Thanks for sticking with us. If you're enjoying it, hit the thumbs up and share it in your WhatsApp groups. If you'd like to support us, please tap the thanks button below. It helps us keep making great content. Drop a comment and don't forget to hit subscribe for more. Now let's continue with the video. Takeaway 6. Obesity harms your body in every direction. Being obese does not just affect how you look. It changes how your body works at every level. Mike explains that fat cells are not just storage units. They send out signals that affect your hormones, immune system, and blood sugar levels. Obesity increases inflammation across the body and makes it harder to heal from injuries or surgery. It raises the risk of diabetes, heart disease, joint problems, and more. The effects build slowly, which makes them easy to ignore. But the science is clear. Carrying a lot of extra weight makes almost every system in your body work harder than it should. Sometimes, the damage becomes obvious too late. Takeaway 7. Obesity does not feel bad until it is too late. Francis tells the story of his mother, who was morbidly obese for most of her life, but said she felt fine. Mike says this is common. People often feel okay in the moment, but over time the damage adds up. Joints wear out, muscles shrink, hips and knees fail. Suddenly, they are in their 60s, unable to move well, and weight loss becomes even harder. Even worse, when you lose fat without exercising, you lose muscle too. That can leave you weak and frail. Mike compares it to driving without a seatbelt. You are fine until the crash happens, and then it is too late. So where does the responsibility lie? Takeaway 8. The food industry gives us what we want. Many people blame food companies for making the world fat, but Mike says that is only part of the story. He believes companies just respond to demand. If people want sugary drinks and greasy snacks, that is what will be sold. He even says fast food chains have tried offering healthy options like salads, but they often fail because almost no one buys them. If people suddenly demanded healthy, filling, low-calorie meals, the industry would pivot instantly. These companies want money, not obesity. They do not care what they sell as long as it makes a profit. The problem is that most people say they want to be healthy, but still choose what tastes best. And when they fail to lose weight, they look for villains. Takeaway 9. Big Pharma is not the secret enemy. Mike addresses the popular suspicion around Big Pharma and vaccinations. He agrees that pharmaceutical companies have problems, especially with how they use regulations to block competition. But he says the real issue is not some evil plan to make people sick. It is a broken system where money and red tape slow down innovation. He believes that if people had more freedom to access experimental drugs and treatments, health would improve faster. But blaming pharma for obesity or health decline distracts from the real issue, which is personal choice and lifestyle. So how do we turn things around? Takeaway 10. Simple habits are the best solution. Mike ends on a practical note. He says you do not need to follow a crazy diet or spend hours in the gym to lose weight. The key is to eat food that keeps you full but does not pack in calories. Things like lean protein, vegetables, and whole grains. He says that just cutting out sugary drinks and limiting processed snacks can make a big difference. But people need more than just the advice to eat less. They need help understanding what to eat, how to stay full, and how to build small routines that stick. Weight loss is hard, but it is not a mystery. It comes down to choices repeated daily, not magic tricks. This podcast episode strips away the fluff and gets brutally real about obesity. Mike Israetel does not hide behind trends or polite language. He says what many are afraid to say, that we are not victims of food systems or government conspiracies. We are the ones holding the fork. If you care about your health or want to help someone you love, this is the kind of truth that can change lives. Not because it is easy, but because it is finally honest. The question is, will you listen and do something about it? Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support this channel, hit the thanks button below. It really helps us keep going. If you enjoyed this summary, please leave a like and share it in your WhatsApp groups. To join discussion about this video, drop a comment below. And for more videos like this, hit the subscribe button below.